Catch past episodes of Create, Build, and Manage Daily on demand. Go to bizvod.com for details.
Stephen Shang is the CEO of Falcon Structures, a company that modifies shipping containers into everything from storage units to living spaces. Stephen, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Scott. Good to be here.
I appreciate your time. Talk about Falcon Structures, your company's history, because you started off as this small rental business into what you've grown into today.
Sure. Yeah. We started this business almost 20 years ago. Makes me feel kind of old to say that, but 20 years ago in 2003. And back then it was just seeing a need with all these mountains of shipping containers piling up that weren't going back to their ports where we were getting imports from, and saying, hey, what could we do with those things? So we bought them and we just rented them out for portable storage. And it's funny, back then when we told people we were in the storage container business, they thought we were selling Tupperware or something like that. But over the years, it's evolved, and we've listened to our customers, and you know, what was once just a portable storage rental business has turned into kind of a major manufacturing concern here in Austin, Texas. And like you said, we're building all kinds of things out of these shipping containers.
Well, speak to the benefits too. I would think recycling these shipping containers, before your company stepped in and started to repurpose them, would they just sit there and basically just rust out and nothing was being done with them?
Yeah, that's exactly right. There are definitely environmental benefits of using these things where we are reusing something that was originally served the purpose of just for shipping. But people are using them for a lot of different reasons. I think, you know, durability and strength. You won't find a better kind of modular structure than a container out there. It's just, it's made to stack. It's made to be erected, like what you see in the picture there. It's pretty amazing that the engineering behind these things. But then also they last for a very, very long time. So people are using these for all types of things, from construction site offices to retail offices to living spaces. There you see an actual stadium that we built out of 125 shipping containers put together. And what stadium would be a stadium without a nice bar like that? So yeah, it's pretty amazing the kinds of things you can do with these.
That is impressive, Stephen. I got to tell you, I love seeing these images, because I was going to ask you to, you know, what's the process? I mean, clearly you're doing some custom work. So if a customer comes to you, do you have like several designs they choose from, or is everything as from scratch kind of project?
Yeah, that's a great question, Scott. There are companies out there who design from scratch. One of the key things with working with Falcon is, because we've been doing this for so long, for 20 years, we actually bring to the table a design library. So what we would do with you is sit down and listen to what exactly you're trying to accomplish. And instead of starting with a blank sheet of paper, which oftentimes is intimidating and tough, what we'll do is say, okay, here's what we recommend based on what we've done in the past. And from there, we can tweak it, modify it, provide some options, really fit your needs as much as possible. But in doing it that way, I think it's much more cost effective as well.
Now, when I was doing some research on you, Stephen, you talk a lot about love-based leadership as you lead your team as CEO. So yes, I'm going there with you. Talk about what that means exactly.
Yeah. So when you think about calling in life and why are we put here on earth, you know, one of the things I knew from a young age was that, look, you know, God created me to be a leader. And then the question over the years has been really, what type of leader was I going to evolve to be? And what I see a lot in Western civilization is there are two primary models of leadership. One is fear-based and one is love-based. And fear-based, it definitely works. And we've got a lot of great leaders in history that have motivated through fear. But then love-based is something that I would say is a little bit more contrarian, a little bit harder to do, and a little bit more countercultural, if you will. And really what it is to see those that you're leading through the lens of love, and how can you care for them? How can you build a better life for them? And really serve them as a leader.
I would imagine you get far better results when you do that approach versus the fear approach.
You know, some would argue that, especially from a short-term basis, that the fear-based approach would probably generate quicker and better results. But I believe that in the long term, in the long run, if you're playing the long game, love-based actually works better.
I want to put your website up there for those who are watching Biz TV tonight. It is falconstructures.com. This is where you can go. And I like that. getting started is simple. You can look at the different designs they have, some of the images we've showed you tonight as well. We are closing in on a new year. So what does the new year look like for your company?
Yeah, 2023, we're very excited about what's happening in 2023. I would say the last 3 years have really been a slog, right, with COVID and all that. And being in the manufacturing business, you can't really have your employees work from home or work remotely because you have to build things here. And so we've really seen 2022 as a recovery year. In 2023, I think we're really primed to get back on track. Our customers are definitely back in the marketplace, and they're doing a lot of exciting things with containers. And so we see a year of growth, both in our customer base as well as our employee base, and really filling the space that we recently expanded into.
Where do you source? Do you work directly with the rail line companies or the shipping companies as far as finding these recycled shipping containers?
Yeah, as you can imagine, over the last 20 years, we've had to build quite the supply chain of these shipping containers. So we'll do everything from working with the depots and the ports to working with the shipping companies to going all the way to China, to where a lot of these containers are manufactured, and working with the manufacturers there to manufacture these containers, have them shipped here with cargo, unload the cargo, and then take the shipping containers as our raw material. I remember about 10, 15 years ago, there was a shortage of shipping containers, and my mom had remembered there was a shipping container company next to the hospital that I was born in Taiwan, and actually called them to see if they would sell some shipping containers. And lo and behold, they did.
There you go. And got about 60 seconds left. I've always been kind of curious, why are they no longer in service shipping? What makes them sort of cycle out of being used to ship stuff and make them available to then build something new?
So there are several reasons. One of the primary reasons is over time, what a shipping company is going to use these for. It doesn't make sense for them to keep it on their books. They may have been fully depreciated. They may have kind of used up their useful life as a shipping container, being in a stack of 15 different containers or so. But the other perspective on that also is that there are a lot of manufacturers now that are using one-trip containers. And so these are containers that are being manufactured for shipping one time. And then once they get here, they get unloaded. And instead of stacking up or being sent back to another country, we take over and use them as modified shipping containers.
Probably cost them more money to ship that empty container back. Stephen, appreciate your time tonight. That website, again, is falconstructures.com. Again, if you're looking to build any kind of building, listen, they did a stadium. They can do anything. Go to falconstructures.com. Stick around. This is Create, Build, and Manage Daily.